Yeah, so this is just something I wanted to mention, and we're not showing the actual photo of the incident because I didn't really tell you, but I feel like it's been shown enough that we don't need to talk about it. Essentially, there was an athlete who is, uh is I forget what event she participated in, but she's a black athlete in America and decided to use her platform to basically she's, instead of facing the national anthem when it was when it was performed, she faced away, and it was a part of the whole BLM movement and everything. In her statement, of course, is going to be, you know, watered down and not actually it's going to be hard to find her actual statement, and I actually don't even know what her actual statement was on the incident because of how, hidden and hard it's going to be to find it. The one thing I thought was ridiculous is that people just used this as like a, continuing of that argument of, well, we need to keep politics and other everything else out of sports. And, you're an athlete, you're there to represent the United States. You shouldn't do this. And it's like, I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. Like, it does not affect me. It's like, if I didn't like it, you know what I would do? Bloop, hit the power button. And then guess what? I don't watch it. I don't see it. So
Yeah.
if you don't like it, don't watch. Don't do it. Don't, you don't need to talk about it. You don't need to tell us about how, the two people that face the national anthem are, really supporting the country. And, like this athlete that decided to look away is disrespecting the country and everybody that fought for her and everybody that died for her. And I'm like, I don't really think that that's what she's going for. Like, I don't think that when she did that, she was like, screw all those people. You know what? Screw your brother that died for this country. No, I don't. That's nobody's doing that. Nobody's ever been doing that. Go back to like this whole thing started with Kaepernick, and it was there was stuff before that too. There was athletes that have done plenty before that that don't get represented. I can't come to mind. There was a black athlete that something was happening, and the other two athletes I don't know if he held up his fist or the other two athletes did it as well. It was an iconic moment in the United States in history, and I can't remember exactly how it went down, but it was very respectful by the other two athletes that were on the podium with them. But anyways, this type of stuff happens all the time. For the love of God, just stop. Just if you have an issue with it, don't watch. I don't know what to tell you. Like, the fact that we're arguing about this athlete saying something, and athletes, for the love of God, can use their freaking platform to talk about whatever the heck they want. I don't care. I really don't. Because you know what? I'll watch them on the field. And then when I watch them on the field, in the press conference afterwards, if they say something about the political sphere that we're in or the current state of our country, I could care less. If they want to say anything, whatever it is, whatever side they're trying to argue, it does not bother me that they say that. They are a human being in the United States of America and a citizen and can say whatever the heck they want. They have a platform where they can reach thousands of people. They can use that platform to further any causes that they feel is necessary.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference to me. If I didn't want to hear their opinion, I would just turn it off. I don't have to listen. It's a fantastic thing. There's an incredible thing called the power button. It's incredible. It's amazing. They invented it with electronics. It's on every single device, and it's on everything that you'd ever use to consume any of this content. For the love of God, use it if you have a problem.
Yeah.
I just so stupid. So stupid. If you have a problem, don't watch the frickin' event she's in. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it. I don't know why people. It's because people need something to argue about and complain about and be upset about, because that's just how the country is and that's just how people are. They just have to be so riled up about something, like just, oh, unbelievable. She would do that for all the people that died for this country. I'm like, I don't think she was thinking about that at all. I don't think that was a part of it. I don't think she was going, you know what? Screw all those people that died for this country. I'm gonna not listen to the national anthem.
Yeah.
Like, does anybody think that that was the case? No, nobody thought that was like, nobody that actually looks at the situation and what she's doing thinks like, oh, she obviously hates all the people that have fallen for this country and all the soldiers. Obviously, she hates the firefighters too. Everybody. Like, it's no, that's not the way that it is. She is advocating for some type of thing, whether it be, BLM and Black Lives Matter and everything that's happening in the country currently and the current state of everything and the social, dilemma that's happening and everything. and the racial stuff that, by the way, still a part of this country. I don't know why people still act like it's not. People are like, oh, race isn't an issue, and it's like, yeah, really, because it is. Because I heard a story that the talk about the College World Series. Congratulations to Mississippi State, by the way, among this rant. Is Vanderbilt parents of the Vanderbilt team had actually, there was the coaches had heard people yelling racial slurs at the Vanderbilt coach or like parents, and it's like, that's why, that right there, that's why we're still talking about this. That type of incident that still happens. People get angry, people get riled up, and then they start immediately yelling racial slurs and stuff like that. And yes, there's a good amount of people that don't, and there's a good amount of people that are good, that actually genuinely see people for people, which is great. But there's also people out there that still suck. They still are terrible human beings that, for some God knows reason, just are like, I'm going to yell a very offensive racial slur at this person because I'm angry, and that makes me feel slightly better. And it's like, you're a terrible human being. That's all I gotta say about that. So
I thought we beat racism when Obama was elected.
Exactly, we 100% did. And then I just stop this whole dumb conversation about how athletes can't use their platforms, or how you should separate politics from sports. It's like, no, when Patrick Mahomes is running a play in the game, guess what? He's not yelling BLM while he's throwing the pass to Tyreek Hill down the line. No, he's running the play. He's producing what you're enjoying and watching. So when the game's over and he decides to use his platform, or when the national anthem's happening, which, by the way, how many people are tuning in for the national anthem in a normal game? Not very many people. So the fact that he decides to kneel or say something or use his platform for anything else, don't tune in, for the love of God, if you have a problem. I don't know what to tell you.
No, going off of the point that you said, and it gets brought up a lot, is like how immediately people always jump to, hey, like, you hate this country or whatever because you're turning back on the flag, you kneeled, whatever it might be. I don't think anyone ever believes it was the case. That's a really like insight. It's like a really just easy thing to just jump to. It's always been the fact that obviously if you're still, you're an Olympic athlete, whatever else you might be, you just want the country to be something greater. You don't want it to be in its current state. There are issues. Pretending that there's not is just a really easy, childish thing to just jump to. And it's never been the case where it's like, I hate all the people that contributed to this country. It's been, I want to call attention to this issue because I think this could be something greater, and it should be something greater, and we deserve to be. So when you immediately jump to that conclusion and there's all this hatred behind it and you hate the country, everything else like that, it's just easy. It's a simplistic, childish worldview that's just really fun to jump to and gets it off your back, so you don't have to think anything else about it. You don't have to look into the issue. So I think that's why people usually default to that a lot, and that usually becomes like the headline everywhere. I think it's less so prevalent now because there are so many examples of like actual causes and good reasons to do it, and people understand it a little bit more now. But all the people who were complaining about it beforehand never watched the national anthem. They never watched the post-game practices. They don't care. They were seeing the tweets. They were seeing the shorthand things that were thrown up in their face. It's never been the case where they're like, oh, I'm just going to tune in after the game. Because that'd be too logical. It's basically what's just like, oh, I saw this head point and someone's telling me to be angry about it. Okay, now I'm angry about it and now I'm incensed and I hate this guy. So I feel like that comes up a lot. It's funny because it never came to attention. Nobody cared about watching the sidelines for the national anthem. It's a bunch of fake patriotism that doesn't even really correlate with anything else. So, yeah,
no, it's just and the Colin Kaepernick thing just annoys me so bad because people, for the love of God, everybody, he was blackballed from the NFL. I don't know what to tell you. He was blackballed. He was better than majority, if not all, of the backups that were on any NFL roster. Do you think Chase Daniel's a better backup quarterback than Colin Kaepernick?
Small
You're
hands.
An idiot. You don't know football and you're an idiot. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Do you think Tyler Bray should be on the freaking Chicago Bears roster over in Colin Kaepernick? No, you're an idiot. I don't know what to tell you. So the fact that Colin Kaepernick was not in the NFL after that incident was a straight blackballing by the NFL, which is, it's an organization, it's a company, it can do what it's want. But regardless, the point still stands. He was blackballed from the thing because of his kneeling, which was something that does not affect his play and does not affect the game itself when it's actually played on the field, because none of those players are kneeling mid freaking blitz on a play. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Tyreek Hill's not kneeling and not catching the 70-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes, and instead he's kneeling and going, well, I'm standing up for BLM. And it's like, no, he's catching the freaking ball and you're watching the production on the field. I don't know what to tell you. Like, stop being so butthurt. Like, it's just every single person. Like, and then the sad part is we get talked about all the time about how, like, this generation is so sensitive and it's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, it's just, like, I'm sorry, but maybe people are just tired of hearing, like, normal, like, comments that are not okay. Like, like I've read things all the time. Like, I was reading one thing where, like, the girl was like, yeah, I just ask people, like, what they mean, and when they actually realize what they say, it gets real awkward. Like, she said one time that some random guy at her work literally just said to her, your voice would be great for phones, like, for phone sex, like phone sex operator. And she was like, what do you mean? Like, that's a comment that's just like, oh, people are so sensitive nowadays, they can't even take a comment. And it's like, no, that's just kind of creepy and weird. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just, like, dude, you have no game. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know what inferiority complex you have at home, but you do. And that's why you're making this weird comment to a coworker.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just, maybe we're done just dealing with that type of crap. So it's just stupid, and this whole thing is just dumb. And the Olympic, them her facing away. Like, I'm sorry, did she come through the screen and actually stab your brother who's a Marine? No? Weird. Oh, I thought she did. The way that you got so angry seemed like there was some physical or actual emotional harm compared to anything that people in this country have to deal with on a daily basis, as far as being literally just black. That causes them to have to deal with that kind of stuff on a daily basis. And that's not a thing that is just brush it off, or just well, it's really not that big of an issue. It still is. It's still an issue. It's why we're dealing with it. So, for the love of God, that's why this whole Vanderbilt thing that gets brushed under the rug, where literally people were yelling racial slurs at players' parents. That's the type of stuff that still happens on a daily basis, and people wonder why there's still problems.
Yeah.
So, long rant that I just went on, but a rant that needs to happen, and people need to actually, that are in media and stuff, need to actually, express, because they just try to roll with what's the least controversial thing they can say in order to keep their audience. And that works great for them, and they make millions of dollars off of that. But I'm just not going to just ignore the annoying comments that I had to read constantly after this incident, where I just, like, I looked at it and went like, oh, okay. And then I moved on with my life and didn't have, like, my entire week ruined because some athlete on a podium, I don't even know what, she was running, but decided to not, turn her head towards the national anthem and put her hand on her chest. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, well, there goes my whole week. That's it. All the plans I had a great weekend playing with the parents. Not gonna happen this weekend. So pissed off about this woman. Like,
Yeah.
So stupid. Just, find a hobby, for the love of God.
Quit patronizing them.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's really weird how nobody ever pointed out how strange it was that we had to pledge allegiance to the flag every day for the, every year we were in school.
It was kind of weird.
Just like that's fine.
It's very odd. Like, it's, God, Dylan, that's it. Now you're gone. You're blackballed from all media. It's just unpatriotic.
Yeah.
You don't want to stand for. You don't want to. You think it's weird, the national anthem? We had to stand and, like, say it. We all had to say something to pledge our allegiance to a freaking flag.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. People are weird about that stuff. I don't know.
Like, dude, one of my favorite, like, comedians, and he says some controversial stuff, of course, but one of my favorite comedians is Bill Burr. And he was like talking about the Colin Kaepernick thing, and he was like, dude, nobody's saying your brother didn't die in Iraq, but he freaking died in Iraq. And it's like, nobody's saying that. Calm down. Like, literally nobody's referencing anything, any of the people that have fought for this country, for you to stand up and say that and disrespect the flag. It's nobody cares, dude. Sorry, you're getting all worked up for nothing. And when your generation finally ends up gone from this country, we'll all breathe a sigh of relief because we now don't have to listen to, you know, some 60-year-old dude who doesn't have a hobby and, you know, is upset that he's not in a world where he can beat his wife with a broomstick anymore. Like, I'm just so like, listen, like 50 years ago, that was okay. And that's the generation, you know, that's what we're talking about. So I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah. No, it's I can't wait for that to die out. People who make the patriotism they feel for their country their entire personality are really sad. Wish there was more.